One of the great blessings for the Kansas City Chiefs and why they've been able to host 5 straight AFC championships and play in 3 Super Bowls is the fact that the other AFC teams that have, I think, really good quarterbacks just don't have the head coach. You got to have the owner, the head coach, and the quarterback to give yourself a chance to win and have sustained winning in this league. The Chiefs obviously have that with the Hunts, with Andy Reid, and with Patrick Mahomes. Some other teams in the AFC who I think have really good quarterbacks, like the Chargers with Justin Herbert, the Bills with Josh Allen, even the Bengals with Joe Burrow. I don't believe they can have that kind of sustained success because those teams don't have the coach. They've got the quarterback. They don't have the coach, it seems. And, it's debatable whether or not they've got the ownership to win on a sustained level year in, year out for a decade. The Chiefs have that. And it's been one of their blessings that the other teams that should be competing with them based on their quarterback play don't have the head coach. And one of those teams is the Buffalo Bills. And the story out of the NFL that's broken over the last 24 hours is insane. In case you needed any more evidence that Sean McDermott, who's coming to Arrowhead with his Buffalo Bills this weekend, cannot be entrusted with the leadership of a football franchise, this will confirm it for you. It is absolutely insane. Story broke yesterday that said back in 2019, Sean McDermott gave a morning address during training camp to his football team. The morning address began innocently enough. He told the entire team they needed to come together. But then, per multiple sources, he used a strange model. The terrorists on September 11, 2001. Sean McDermott, the report says, cited the hijackers as a group of people who were all able to get on the same page to orchestrate attacks to perfection. I kid you not.
He's a nut job.
Sean McDermott is giving a speech to his players about how they should come together, and the example that he uses is not people who came together on September 11th, like the New York City firemen, the New York City policemen. No. He chose to use the terrorists who executed the attack. He cited the hijackers as a group of people who were all able to get on the same page to orchestrate attacks to perfection. One by one, McDermott started asking specific players in the room questions. What tactics do you think they used to come together? He asked. A young player tried to methodically answer. What do you think their biggest obstacle was? Asked McDermott. A veteran player answered TSA, which mercifully lightened the mood. Sean McDermott was asked about this yesterday during a press conference. Remember, the Bills are coming to Arrowhead this weekend. Their season is on the line. They're 6-6. They've got an incredibly talented quarterback in Josh Allen. They can win this game on Sunday. But to me, it doesn't matter if they win this game. This is not somebody who has the capacity or should be entrusted with the leadership of a football franchise. Here was Sean McDermott in yesterday's press conference.
I want to reference the team meeting that has been brought up. My intent in the meeting that day was to discuss the importance of communication and being on the same page with the team. I regretted mentioning 9/11 in my message that day, and I immediately apologized to the team. Not only was 9/11 a horrific event in our country's history, but a day that I lost a good family friend. And so with that, I'll turn it over to answer any questions you might have.
Why did you decide to use that as the reference that day?
Just awareness around a horrific event more than anything, and a situation that I lost, as I mentioned, a family friend, really multiple family friends. And that was it.
That was Bills head coach Sean McDermott yesterday, responding to this report, which he basically admitted is true, that a couple of years ago, he used the hijackers of 9/11 to try to explain to his team what it's like to come together. You know, I have another idea for Sean McDermott. If you want to make a 9/11 reference on people coming together, how about Todd Beamer? You remember that name? Todd Beamer, an American hero, United Airlines Flight 93, which was hijacked on September 11th, and we'll never know where Flight 93 was going. It's perceived, I don't want to say assumed, but it was believed to have been going towards either the Capitol or the White House. And Todd Beamer, that day, at 32 years old, led everyday Americans, everyday citizens, to storm the cockpit and crash that plane into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. This guy came together with a bunch of people on a plane that he never knew as they sacrificed their lives for the betterment of fellow American citizens to save other Americans. And they knew they were going to die. They knew they were going to storm a cockpit with a bunch of insane, radical Muslim hijackers, and they were going to crash that plane into the ground and kill themselves, but hopefully save thousands of Americans. If there is a reference to make to September 11th on people coming together, if you're Sean McDermott, that's the one I would use. And if you don't know some of the details of that story, I mean, it is incredibly powerful. Todd Beamer apparently was one of several passengers who made phone calls to loved ones. And they found out that the first two planes had crashed into the World Trade Center. So suddenly they knew that they were on a hijacked airplane that was going to kill potentially thousands of people. So the passengers decided to work together. According to all accounts of cell phone conversations, Beamer, along with four other men, Mark Bingham, Todd Burnett, and Jeremy Glick, formed a plan to take the plane back from the hijackers. They were joined by other passengers, guys named Lou Nackey, Rich Guadango, Alan Beaver, Elizabeth Wynio, Linda Grunald, William Cashman, flight attendants Sandra Bradshaw, Cece Lyles, in discussing their options and voting on a course of action, ultimately deciding to storm the cockpit and take over the plane. Beamer told the group that he was planning to jump on the hijackers and fly the plane into the ground before the hijackers' plan could be followed through. Beamer recited the Lord's Prayer, prompting others to join in. Beamer requested, "If I don't make it, please call my family and let them know how much I love them." After this, Jefferson, who was the person on the other side of the phone, he was on the phone with basically a call center, heard muffled voices and Beamer clearly answering, "Are you ready?" Looking at everybody else that he was going to storm the cockpit with. "Okay, let's roll." And these were the last words spoken by Todd Beamer that anybody ever heard. "Let's roll." That is as powerful a story about regular, everyday American citizens coming together and saving who knows how many lives. And a guy like Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, who's going to be at Arrowhead on Sunday, is so dense and so ridiculous that he is apparently using the hijackers as an example of people coming together. I know it's got nothing to do with the X's and O's of football, but I'll tell you what, if I'm the owner of the Buffalo Bills, you're going to entrust that guy to run your franchise, a team that has, by the way, underachieved with one of the most talented quarterbacks of a generation in Josh Allen? To me, that would be the final straw. And I'll tell you what, I've never thought much about booing a coach, but I'm going to be there on Sunday, and I'm going to be sitting on the Bills side of the field. And I may get extra loud just so Sean McDermott can hear me. 913-408-7957. That is our studio line and our text line as we approach 8:15 on a Friday morning on KCMO Talk Radio. Mark Falter will be here at the bottom of the hour as we'll talk about the reaction to the jobs report. But man, oh man, that one got me all wrapped up when I saw that last night. Unbelievable stuff. And just tells you who's able to handle $1 billion franchise and who's not. 9/11 analogies about hijackers, not going to cut it. Pete Mundo on KCMO Talk Radio.
This hour of Mundo in the Morning brought to you by Pentec HVAC. Keep your furnace in check with Pentec.
Freedom isn't just a word. It should be a way of life for all Missourians. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live in a state where you're free from excessive taxes, regulations, and corporate handouts, and free to send your children to the school of your choice? That's why we at the Show Me Institute put together our 2023 Missouri Blueprint, a roadmap on how the state can progress